Hello friends, once again I am happy in welcoming you all to this video series on saluting women in history. The participation of Indian women in the battle began as early as 1817, and our country's history is filled with the chronicle of bravery, sacrifice and political sagacity of hundreds of thousands of women. And the role of Tamil Nadu women in the liberation fight had evolved into an epic tale of selfless, vibrant, brilliant and patriotic women. Many of them had to face obstinate opposition at every level, including the home, community, workplace and immigration government. However, the band of pioneers who emerged in the late 19th and early 20th centuries provided guidance to the masses of underprivileged women, ensuring the realization of their rights and redressal of their problems on par with males. While discussing the role of Tamil Nadu women who fought valiantly for India's freedom, a deeper dive into history reveals the contributions of numerous female characters. Let's take a closer look at them one by one in this video. Velu Nachiyar. Born in Ramanathapuram in 1730, she was the first queen to aggressively challenge the British authority. Many years before the Sepoy Mutiny, she battled against the colonial overlords. She fought a war against the British in cooperation with Hyder Ali and Gopala Nayakar and was victorious. In the late 1700s, she went on to create the first human bomb and formed the first army of trained female troops. During this time, she organized an army and sought an alliance with Hyder Ali in preparation for a campaign against the East India Company in 1780. When Velu Nachiyar discovered the area where the company kept a part of their munitions, she planned a suicide strike and blew it up. Nachiyar reclaimed her husband's kingdom and governed it for another 10 years. Her daughter Vellachi gained the crown in 1790. Velu Nachiyar passed away a few years later on December 25, 1796. Valliyamai Ammal. She was born in Devakottai, Sivaganga district and she was educated to the elementary level and actively participated in the Quit India campaign, which began in August 1942. Srimati Ammal died the same day after receiving the grievous bullet wounds in the police shooting on the rally she had joined at Devakottai on 17 August 1942. Kuili was born in Kundanchavadi, Sivagangai and she belongs to the Sambhavar group of Lord Shiva devotees. Sivagangai was one of the 72 Palayams that comprised the Madurai area. In 1772, colonialists assaulted Sivagangai's capital and seized the province. Velu Nachiyar, the queen of Sivagangai, appointed Kuili as her commander-in-chief, and in 1780 the queen was one of the first monarchs to battle against the British. Kuili commanded the queen's army and gave her life to preserve the queen and her kingdom. She disguised herself and gathered information on the East India Company's movements. Padmasini Ammal was born in 1897 at Madurai and Srivilliputhur Sundarraja Iyengar was her father who sent her to a ladies' school. She got married at the early age and was taken to her father-in-law's residence when she was 15. Srinivasa Varadan, her spouse, was a Tamil Pandit at a Manamadurai Padashala. Srinivasa Varadan quit his work as a reporter and manager of the Desabhaktan and Navashakti magazines in Madurai to join the liberation fight. In order to promote the liberation struggle, the pair sung Subramanya Bharati songs together. They strongly supported the Khadi movement and began manufacturing spinning wheels in Madurai. Padmasini Ammal was imprisoned for several years for her involvement in the Salt Satyagraha, the Prohibition campaign and protest in front of foreign goods stores. They spent their time spreading the message of liberation via songs and plays. In 1924, she made fiery remarks at the meetings hosted by Dr. Varadarajulu Naidu and T.V. Kalyanasudaram. Janaki Ammal was born on 25th January 1916 in the hamlet of Thiruvahindrapuram in the Kadalur district of Tamil Nadu. At the age of 13, she married Uttaramerur Aravamudu Iyengar. Without hesitation, the couples were involved in the independence battle. They maintained strong ties with the National Congress leaders such as Rajaji, Vaidyanatha Iyer, Kamaraj, Bhaktavachalam, O.V. Alagesan and Dr. Subbarayan. In 1930, she took part in the Salt Satyagraha and in 1942, she took part in the Quit India movement. She was caught, imprisoned and fined for Rs 50 and she was in the jail for 45 days. The municipal building and a garden in Uttaramerur are named after Arvamuda Iyengar in recognition of his unwavering dedication to the nation. Senthil Perumal Lakshmi Ammal Palpandi. The name is quite interesting. Senthil Perumal Lakshmi Ammal Palpandi. These are three people together. Senthil Perumal was born in Perur to a farming family and became an ardent supporter of the Indian independence movement. Along with him, his wife Lakshmi Ammal and brother-in-law Paul Pandi fought for freedom. The Perur village in Thoothukudi was the proudest moment when three members of the same family joined the freedom cause. Vaidya Manidhi Mudumbai Kodainayagi Ammal was a Tamil writer, novelist and journalist who was the first woman to serve on the editorial board of a Tamil magazine. She wrote 115 novels and edited Jagan Mohini, a monthly Tamil magazine. Kodainayagi was the first female Tamil writer to publish a detective fiction. She had a multifaceted personality and excelled in subjects such as public speaking, social work, and fiction writing, as well as being an avid freedom fighter. Her contemporaries author dubbed her the Queen of Fictions. She was nevertheless underrepresented in the works on the history of Tamil literature. Rukmani Lakshmipati, born in landlord's family at Madurai on 6th December 1892, was graduated from Presidency College, Madras, and later married Dr. Achanta Lakshmipati, a fervent nationalist, and so began her role in the national cause for independence. She was strongly influenced by the ideas and actions of great national leaders such as Mahatma Gandhi, Sarojini Naidu, and Rajagopalachari. Rukmani Lakshmipati was a leading figure in the Madras social reform movement of the 19th century, and she was one of the first female presidents of the Women's Indian Association. She aggressively pursued and obtained social legislation, raising the age of marriage, age of consent, and so on. She also presided over the Madurai Youth Tamil Conference, which was held at Victoria Edward Hall in London. Thillayadi Valliyamai. Our country's independence struggle is littered with chapters of unheralded courage and sacrifice. The turn of events in South Africa in the early 20th century brought a new dimension to the Indian liberation fight. It also sparked a massive uprising against colonial control in a vast section of the world, giving birth to a number of sovereign nation-states and permanently altering the world map. Thillayadi Valliyamai, born in Johannesburg on 22nd February 1898 to Indian migrants from Tamil Nadu, but was influenced by Mahatma Gandhi's civil disobedience movement and played a remarkable effect on the Indian independence movement through the father of our nation. Manju Bhashini, known at home as Rajamma, was born on 24th September 1906 into a strict and prosperous family. She married Subramaniam at the age of 12 after studying up to 8th standard at the Presidency Girls' School in Egmore. She went on to become a lawyer and eventually a Madras High Court judge. Manju Bhashini went on to accomplish her SSLC with the help of her husband. From her infancy, she was hypnotized by Gandhiji's appeal for independence, and soon after her 24th birthday, this young mother of 4 children, Manjuma, immersed herself into the India's liberation movement, boldly facing jail in the Quit India movement of 1942. Lakshmi Krishnan was born in Coimbatore and migrated to Burma with her father after graduating 8th grade. When she joined the Indian National Army's Jhansi Regiment, she volunteered and trained for 6 months in Jayawadi when Subhash Chandra Bose mobilized men for the Indian National Army. In the Rani Jhansi Regiment, she was a section commander, and she returned to her own village after the death of Subhash Chandra Bose. Anjali Ammal was a soldier who served under the direction of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, a key figure in India's freedom war. She joined the Indian National Army when she was 21 years old and was a member of Rani of Jhansi unit and was transported to Singapore for rudimentary military training before being dispatched to Burma. Her sacrifice, gallantry, dedication and heroism will live on in the history of India's battle for independence. She died on 2nd June 2022 at the age of 102. Dr. Dharmabal, born in 1890 to Saminathan Chettiar of Karandakudi village near Tanjavur. She was motivated by Periyar's ideals and had a strong interest in adopting widow marriage, women's education and intercaste marriage. She was also an enthusiastic participant in the self-respect movement. Dharmabal developed the Manavar Mandram to provide Tamil education to the youth of Chennai. She organized Elavu Varam to ensure equitable remuneration for Tamil teachers. In 1951, she was bestowed the title of Veera Tamil Annai in recognition of her contributions to Tamil language and literature. Kamala Ramasamy from Tiruchirappalli was the wife of Ramasamy, the grandson of independence warrior T.S.S. Rajan. The principles of communism drew her into the freedom struggle. She joined the Quit India movement and participated in the Tiruchi General Strike of 1942, and she is claimed to be one of the 4 ladies who participated in the strike as well. Kamala was imprisoned for a year in 1946 for her support of the South Indian Railway fight and remained in prison for over a year. She was imprisoned again in January 1947 under the Defence Act of India, and she is claimed to have been the sole woman in jail in India at the time of independence. Janaki Ammal, a theatrical artist, was born at Madurai in 1917 to Padmanabhan and Lakshmi. She lost her mother when she was 8 years old and was raised by her grandmother. Janaki returned to music class after dropping out in 8th grade, and she began her career as a vocalist with Palaniyappa Pillai Boys Company and eventually rose to the position of main actress. Gurusamy Naidu, a harmonium musician in the ensemble, married her. At the age of 12, Janaki performed Vekkam Ketta Vellai Kokkugala Varatta Varigala to instill the spirit of the independence movement in the people. She was jailed for the first time in 1930 while performing in Tirunelveli and spent a year in jail. Kamala Devi Chattopadhyaya was born in Bangalore on 3rd April 1903 into a musical family. Because of her family's heritage, she was particularly interested in art. Following her father's untimely death, she relocated to her uncle's house, where she met famous leaders such as Srinivasa Sastry, Annie Besant, Ramabai, Gopalakrishna Gokhale, Govind Ranade and others. These interactions broadened her political perspective. Kamala Devi married at the age of 14. Her spouse died just 2 years after they married. She knew her life would not stop with her husband's death and enrolled in Queen Mary's College, where she met Sarojini Naidu's brother Harindranath Chattopadhyaya, and both of them were inspired by play, which led to their marriage, and later on she became a great freedom fighter. Masilamani Pillai and Jebamani Ammal. Masilamani Pillai, born at Thoothukudi, the cradle of the Indian National Congress movement. Masilamani Pillai attended the St. Francis Xavier School in Thoothukudi for his education. He worked as a carpenter and used to create scratching wheels in his wood shop and give them away for free to individuals in order to spread the news. He also forced his family to spin yarn and wear it. He was dubbed as Simma Kurlon because he traveled from village to village, disseminating ideals of Indian independence and emancipation. He maintained an elderly school at his own expense to feed the elderly. Jebamani, his wife, backed Masilamani's freedom effort and also participated in liberation fights and organized women. The couple was imprisoned for obeying Gandhiji's directions and taking part in anti-World War II demonstrations. They were the first couple in Thoothukudi to be arrested for this fight. Thus, when the history of India's war for independence is written, the sacrifice made by the women will hold the foremost place. Women from Tamil Nadu played significant roles in the movement for India's independence, attending public meetings, establishing picket lines outside stores selling foreign goods, and selling Khadi. They were also excellent speakers, marchers, activists, and volunteers. As a result, they were active participants in the Swadeshi, non-cooperation, civil disobedience, and Quit India movements, and their contributions are genuinely outstanding. As India celebrates 75 years of independence, I was extremely happy and proud to honor the lives and exemplary work of these women by paying the visual tribute and registering a big salute in history.